Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to say thank you for coming to our presentation today. Before we start the presentation, I would like to introduce our group. My name is Adinda Anugrah as the moderator, and my partner is Della, Rahmattia, and Adinda Kharisma. So today we will deliver a presentation about a study of vocabulary learning strategies among high and low Iranian English vocabulary learners. For the introduction, will be delivered to Adinda Kharisma. For Adinda Kharisma, time is yours.
Okay, thank you, Adinda Anugrah. I would like to tell you about introduction, drawing upon the fact that in the context of foreign language, learning the opportunities are recited in terms of target language input, output, and interaction. What seems necessary for vocabulary learning is the employment of motivational and effective learning strategies. In addition, a wide range of notable features are usually submitted under the category of the challenge of vocabulary learning and teaching, such as word frequency, saliency, learning burden, and learner particular vocabulary needs and wants. Consequently, the present study is designed to address the following research question. By Galebi et al. College education. Is there any significant difference between high and low Iranian English vocabulary learners in terms of vocabulary learning strategies? And the second is there any significant difference between high and low Iranian English vocabulary learners considering the most and the least vocabulary learning strategies? Okay, now I would like to tell you about review of literature. Compatible to the mainstream of the studies by such means suggested two categories of IL2 vocabulary learning strategies, including discovery and consolidation strategies, which the former refer to the determination and social strategies, whereas the latter included social, memory, cognitive, and meta-cognitive strategies, with 40 strategies in all. In an attempt to particularly analyze the finding of general learning research and vocabulary learning studies. Three general conclusions have been made by Smith, which are respectively as following. First, the significance of vocabulary learning by most students prompts them to employ more strategies for the aspect of language learning than others. Second, the student overuse some mechanical strategies such as memorization, note-taking, and repetition, in contrast to deep processing strategies such as guessing, imagery, and the keyword technique.
Next is methodology. Completing the questionnaire and the vocabulary test, students were informed about the study aims and the general form of the questionnaires, and that their participation was completely voluntary and anonymous. For placement test in 2007 to ascertain the participant level of English vocabulary, we used the vocabulary parts of OPT, the vocabulary learning strategy questionnaire. The current study used many strategies questionnaire, adapted from Bennett in 2006. The questionnaire was also piloted using a small group of students similar characteristic to the participant in the main study. The purpose was to guarantee that the questionnaire covered the strategy related to learning English vocabulary and that the student could understand the questionnaire completely, although the completion the questionnaire took approximately 20 until 25 minutes. The researchers informed the participants that were not fixed time in the complement. Next. Okay, here's the results. And the result shows that high efficiency learning in the current study were more oriented toward using cognitive and metacognitive strategies than low efficiency learners. On the other hand, low efficiency learners seems to be more attracted to use determination and social strategy. And for social strategy, the result of the test is indicated there was not any significant difference in using social strategies between high and low learners, and the means indicated low efficiency learners use social strategy more. Accordingly, the finding shows that cognitive strategies were not the most and memory strategies that least frequent strategies used by high efficiency learners, while determination strategies were the most and cognitive strategies were the at least frequent strategies used by low efficiency learners. And for the next slide will be delivered to Della Rahmattia. For Della Rahmattia, time is yours.
Thank you, Madam Moderator. I will continue this article. Conclusion. The sort of strategy employed and the manner in which its use may determine how well a word is learned. The person studied a small step lower vocabulary learning strategies, in part because of its small sample size, lack of control of extraneous variables, and quantitative nature. For importance, the study has identified strategies that may be relevant to success in learning vocabulary by proficient vocabulary learners and encourage non-proficient ones to develop their own effective strategies for learning. And finally, there is a discussion of the article. In addition, of EOC learners, priority for vocabulary learning strategy was in the following order: determination, social, metacognitive, memory, and cognitive strategies. This is why high POC learners priority for vocabulary learning strategy was in the following order: cognitive, metacognitive, social, determination, and memory strategies. In other words, high POC learners in the current study were more attracted to use cognitive and metacognitive strategies than low POC learners. On the other hand, low POC learners seem to be more oriented toward using determination and social strategies. In the same way, Greenfield and Abrams provide insight into the effectiveness of implementing awareness tracing activities to familiarize and aware learners to metacognitive strategies, directing them to more willing to use new vocabulary mnemonic strategies, which were found to be helpful not only for learning vocabulary but also for improving test performance. Thank you.
Okay, that's it for our presentation today. Thank you so much for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.